You've got to shoot the best arrows you can in this set right now, and that is all that matters.
Yeah, it is all that matters, but this man here, he came out with a bit of bravado, swagger in his step, took the first set very confidently, 29 points to 25, and he looked like he was going to go on from there to peg this one in 9, but it took 5 for him to do it. A fight back from Demore wasn't quite enough, and Yun Sanchez takes the bronze medal. Very, very genuine hug and congratulations both from Demore and his coach for Yun Sanchez, who's picked up a World Cup medal at first time of asking. Now it's time for the big one. Gold medal at stake here at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup, and it's world #1 and reigning world champion Bready Ellison of the USA on target #2, who will go up against the young pretender from Germany, Max Weckmüller.
Representing Germany, an archer who broke onto the world ranking podium earlier in the season, please welcome Maximilian Weckmüller. And his opponent, shooting on target #2, representing the United States of America. He is currently ranked world #1. He is the reigning champion of the world, reigning World Cup final champion. Please welcome the one and only Bready Ellison. The line judge for this matchup is Bettina Katzmüller. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, in attendance,
well, Max Weckmüller is unfamiliar with this position. Not only in the final 4 here in Lausanne, he's shooting for gold with a bunch of cameras pointing at him and the eyes of the world on him. And he goes up against someone who does this for fun, shooting in big matches like this. World #1, reigning world champion Bready Ellison, massive favourite to take the gold medal here and book his place at the World Cup finals. It's Ellison who will get us underway.
10.
It was a gritty performance from Max Weckmüller in the semi-finals. Showed some real steel. The thing is, he's going to have to put these into the centre of the target, and that is a confident start from the German. Much needed.
10.
Just out of the exit 11.
Maybe just out. I don't know if they're going to star that one. Might be close, but doesn't Bready look on form?
10, 10, 10.
Perfect start from Ellison. Ominous. The 2 set points are his. I have to say, Weckmüller's grouping, not too bad. Those 2 9s are the difference between the two, but actually, as good as Ellison is, I don't think Weckmüller's too far off him.
No, he just needs to make an adjustment there, doesn't he? You need to utilise your group size. If they're smaller than the 10, just shuffle them across and get those maximum points that you can.
Get a good view of Ellison's technique. And as you suggested, Nicky, that second arrow from Weckmüller is actually subject to a measure. They are having a look at it. It's still not going to be enough for any set points, but will boost Weckmüller's confidence, no doubt.
World #27. Mad Max Weckmüller shoots first on target 1.
So trailing by 2 set points, German Weckmüller will shoot first in the second set.
9.
9,3 auf 9.
9.
1 o'clock, 9-5.
Just a little bit of a longer hold there from Bready.
So, job done. Leading the order of shooting to put some pressure on your opponent with a big score.
8.
Just left.
Quizzical look from Ellison to coach. And Weckmuller can put this one to bed.
10.
Ho, 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 look at that. Not only has he put it to bed, but those last 2 arrows, absolutely superb. Will be all square after
9.
the first
Well, there you have it.
and
Weckmuller
second
just staying
sets.
focused on the task at hand, shooting a near perfect score
So,
of 29 to Bready
An
Ellison's
interesting
26 there.
second
We
set
have ourselves
for
a
Bready
tie.
Ellison. What
After 2 sets
on
in
earth
this
happened
gold
there?
medal match,
Well, we saw similar things in the semi-final, didn't we? Where Bready came out, shot 26, he then shot 29, and back down to a 27. He just spread them around the 9 and 8 a little bit, and you can't really see much difference, can you? Maybe a slight change in the timing that we've talked about before, being at full draw, the length of time before the release changing a little bit, but you know, not major errors, just enough to spread them out.
Yeah, meanwhile, Weckmuller, who didn't have very big scores in his semi-final, has suddenly brought his A game to the final with Bready Ellison. How much of an upset would this be if Ellison wasn't to win and book his place at the Hindustan Archery World Cup finals?
It would be a huge upset. He's definitely the favourite here to win.
Well, he's been pegged back to all square. Bready Ellison, world number 1, will shoot first in the third set.
9.
Same hole as the last one.
9.
Well,
Ellison's coach said that he put that first arrow into the same hole as the previous one,
There you go.
and the correction has been made and he's back in the centre.
Yeah, if you look at the holes in the target face, Brady's shot a much better group so far. They've just been a little bit high.
10.
Weckmuller matching him.
Good, strong shot. Good finish.
10.
Fit.
Well,
Yeah.
Bready, we all know, is back with a 29. Can be matched here. 10 from Weckmuller.
9.
Required, it's only a 9,
Well,
so
the added
another
pressure on that
28 for
final arrow
Weckmuller,
there on the
and the
German
points
side of
go
the field
to
as
Ellison,
well, needing a
4-2.
10 to stay
So
in the chase,
they've
or rather to
tossed
split
this
the
one
pie
about a
around
bit.
1
Ellison
set
going
point
2-0
here
up
as
after
the
the
situation
first,
in favor of
Weckmuller
Bready
pegging
Ellison,
back in the
9-10-10.
second,
That
and
near
now
perfect
Ellison
score of 29,
back on
putting him in
the
a
centre of the
commanding
target,
position
goes
now, looking to
4-2
get
up.
of the
So what
outgained
has
weight
changed? Well,
to 6.
26 in the
The
previous
pathway to
round,
set points here for Ellison.
with
Just
the
needs to win the
arrows
next
going
set.
high, and now
Weckmuller now
nearly a
needs to
perfect.
find a way to
The only
stay
real
in the
difference I can
chase,
see there is in the shot
which could
timing,
be
how long he's staying at full draw, and that might indicate a difference perhaps in the balance of the front arm versus the back arm, and you know, everything's been a little bit high, isn't it? So he's just made that adjustment now to get him back into the 10.
Do you see this being done now in the fourth set, or do we think we're going to see more of the Weckmuller fight back?
I think given Brady's performances so far today in the semi-final as well, there's a chance, you know, for Weck to come back.
Well, we watch on for set number 4. Ellison leading the way as the favourite up against this German who refuses to let go.
10.
X.
Nine.
Just dropping into the 9, an opportunity potentially for Ellison here.
Yep.
10.
Won this fighter. Show me another.
Fantastic response.
Yeah, what pressure now on Weckmuller. His final arrow needs to be a good one in this set. Just clipping the 10 ring, so a 29. 228s and 229s, but a perfect score from Ellison in this set will win it for him.
Yep.
Oh, it is gold for Bready Ellison. Normal order is restored in the recurve men's individual discipline with the world number 1 and reigning world champion from the United States of America, Bready Ellison, taking gold at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup here in Lausanne. He is going to the World Cup finals in Yankton. in September this year. He isn't quite back up to where he was before the restrictions, but he's not very far off. Bready Ellison taking it out from, I'd imagine, a very happy Max Weckmuller. I don't think he would have predicted he'd be in the final four here, and he's going to walk away from Lausanne with a silver medal. Not quite there yet, not quite back there yet, but it really does feel like normal order is restored. Bready Ellison wins the Recurve men's competition.
What a convincing final set from him. X, X, X. That is what we see from Bready. That is what we're used to. You know, a couple of flutters through the semis, one flutter in the gold match, but generally, you know, Bready is there and he's ready and he's just polishing up on this year, and, you know, he's got Paris to go and then the big Olympic Games.
Yeah, brilliant performance. As you said, finishing so smartly, XXX. It'd be very interesting to hear what he says in this post-match interview, which is coming up very shortly. What we can say is he joins Atanu Das as a stage winner. Let's go and hear what Bready has to say.
Huge congrats, another World Cup win. Was it especially important after Guatemala that it wasn't so successful there?
Yeah, I think I might get the most improved for that, going out the first match and then winning. You know, it feels good. Like, we've been out of competition for so long, and you know, like they're saying, like world #1, world champion, and all that, and then to come on, you want to keep shooting well. You know, you come off of 2019, best season ever, and then, you know, you want to start this. So it's good to get another win. It's good to be in another World Cup final that way. And yeah, just overall pretty excited with it.
You started well. The second set wasn't perfect, so did you have to adjust anything ahead of the third and fourth set?
No, I think this field is a little funny with the wind, and I think you saw a little bit in like our semifinal matches. Everyone was kind of all over the place, and then that wind really died down for our finals, the bronze and the gold, and we were all able to go and shoot a lot better. And, you know, I shot 3 good ends and 1 not so good, so it was good enough this time.
There are really important competitions coming, Paris, of course, Tokyo. So does such result make you even more confident and believing in your abilities that you can get a gold?
You know, the biggest thing is just being out here and come and shoot in the finals matches. The experience, being under pressure, being under the cameras. Just shooting that, I think, is going to help. Whatever. I love this. I love the Final Four idea that we're doing here with the semis and the finals. I absolutely love that. It gives us more experience. I think it's better for the athletes. We get more time on the cameras for our sponsors and stuff. So, yeah, I think all that will help going on. And we still have a lot of tournaments in the U.S. I mean, our Olympic trials start in 4 days. So.
Thank you very much, and once again, huge congrats.
Thank you, guys, and thank you, World Archery, and all the volunteers here for putting on a World Cup here in 5 weeks' notice. Like, thank you, and you guys did a good job.
For Tokyo 2020, that takes place in 2021.
Professional and humble with it. I mean, what a great thing from the world #1 to thank his international federation for being able to put this competition on in 5 weeks. He's quite right to thank them, but he's doing it publicly in front of the watching world. Interesting to hear from him talking about the wind and the changeable conditions that we've talked about a lot, Nikki. But that humble sentiment of perhaps I'm the best improved athlete between the first two major events since lockdown was eased a little bit to allow these things. What are your thoughts about that brilliant insight into Bready Ellison?
Yeah, like he said, you know, he came out of 2019 having won pretty much everything there was to win in that year, on the best form of his life, you know, ready to go for the Olympics. You know, you've got to remember, he's never had that Olympic gold. He's had bronze, he's had silver, he was all queued up and ready in the best form of his life, and then coronavirus hit. So for him, these competitions are so important, you know, to be under this pressure. Like he said, the Final Four coming into the semi-finals and the gold and bronze matches, they get so much more experience of this pressure, which is what they need. You can't recreate that at home in the garden, you know, or at your shooting range. For Bready, it would be in his garden because they have that much space. But, you know, that's how much it means to him. You know, he wants to be here, win these medals, go out to the Olympics and get that dream that he's been after for so long.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see him. He's great in front of the camera when he does interviews because he's got that little level of self-deprecation. You know, that mention of I'm perhaps the most improved between two, talking very honestly about the wind. And also talking honestly about his position and how things have changed as a result of coronavirus. And then it's just really nice to hear an athlete actually congratulate their international federation. And, well, huge kudos to him. He is the winner here. Has booked his place at the Yankton Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals. And he's coming out to collect yet another gold medal from a Hyundai Archery World Cup stage. His 9th. In fact, Lausanne has delivered a competition of great note in just 5 weeks. Stories abound, history being made in the Olympic capital. And Secretary General of World Archery back out to present the medals, Tom Dillon.
Representing Spain, Sanchez.
A couple of teenagers will start off our medal presentation. The 18-year-old Yun Sanchez was World 214 coming into the competition. The Spaniard collected the bronze medal, having beaten Nicolas Damore, the US Virgin Islands, in the bronze medal match.
Silver medal, representing Germany, Maximilian Weckmüller.
Gritty resilience sums up the performance of Max Weckmüller in his semi-final. Just didn't give up against Damore, but it was a step too far in the final against the world number one, a massive favourite. Max Weckmüller gets the silver medal.
Bready Ellison.
But normal order restored on the top of the Recurve men's podium, with the return of the USA's Bready Ellison. Congratulations to him. He can relax a little bit in terms of the Hyundai Archery World Cup because he has booked his place as a stage winner at the finals. But as he said, he's got the US trials coming up. Before that, he gets to hear his national anthem.
Ladies and
Well,
gentlemen,
Lausanne
please give me a
has
warm
kept
round of
giving
applause
right the way
to our
through till the end. Amusingly, ironically, the weather has played its part. Gusty conditions throughout, very rainy in the qualification stages, and today the light played its part. But just when you wanted the wind to pick up a little bit, when the flags were being hauled up there, masked for that national anthem for the USA, not a jot of a breeze.
Have you heard of the archery gods?
I may well have done.
When the whistle's blown, that's when the weather comes in, and when the final whistle is blown, it all calms down. That's how it works.
Well, this is how things look after two stages. Nicolas Damore, look, right up the top there. Breakthrough athlete of the season. Hasn't got a stage win, but sits atop the rankings. Ellison winning here joins Atanu Das in the top three. Das winning in Guatemala. And look at that. New names, Castro, Weckmüller, joined by Steve Vire in the top six. A brilliant, brilliant performance from Bready Ellison here. Has booked him a place at the finals. It has been a brilliant tournament here in Lausanne as well. And we get to take a look back over normally sleepy alpine town of Lausanne, dotted with these beautiful cottages, lovely countryside,
The victory ceremony for the Longines Prize
and
of Precision.
amazing wildlife all around. Been filled with lots of technology, not only our cameras but also these bespoke bows. Bready Ellison had the final word in the men's recurve final, taking the gold medal. Nikki, any particular highlights from this individual session?
Yeah, I think for me, Svetlana, really coming through in the last match, that 30, and then the 10 in the shoot-off as well to win that semi-final, and then just seeing Bready back on form, again finishing with a triple X 30 in the end to show he is back this season.
Yeah, and there's the cheer. He's been waiting for that. Didn't quite go to plan in Guatemala for him at the first stage, but he's put it right here in Lausanne. Fist bumps from his coach, and standing on top of the podium once again, Bready Ellison is a stage winner here in the recurve men's division, joining Svetlana Gombayeva of Russia, who won the recurve women's individual tournament. And they will both be going to the Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals, which has recently been announced to take place, along with the World Championships in Yankton. Nikki, thanks as always for your insight. That's it from Lausanne, but coming up in just 2 weeks' time is the European Championships in Antalya, which we'll be bringing you live through World Archery's regular channels, and very shortly after that we will be going to Paris for the third stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup and the last chance to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics. Thanks to all of you for joining us. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
World Cup 2 is over as we set our sights now.